a fear of social selling, which is I'm so used to tracking these call to action based activities, right? The predictable revenue, activities to leads, etc. And I think a lot of people think they should be doing social and know they should be doing social, but the fact that they can't completely wrap their head around, and it's a longer game, right? It's a 6 months.
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, actually, social selling is faster than things like cold calling. I can reach out to people, and I reached out to the CEO of Avaya on a Thursday. I had a meeting with him on a Tuesday. You cannot reach out to CEOs of big NASDAQ quoted companies by using cold calling. It's just you just don't do that. But with social selling, you can do that. So you can actually get higher faster by using social. Also, to your point, what we're seeing is that, now I'm not saying that cold calling isn't relevant. I know people using cold calling. If you're selling something that's very transactional, where you can sell it very low down in the organization at a low cost, that's cold calling is still probably relevant for you. And certainly in the US, it seems to still be relevant. In Europe, it's pretty much died. What we're seeing, especially in the B2B enterprise space, the fact that a CFO is sitting there waiting for somebody to call them up and spend 30 minutes, it's just a complete fallacy. It's not going to happen. If you go through to the average switchboard in the UK and say, can you put me through to the CFO? They will laugh at you. And so there has to be a different mechanism of doing that. So there's two things about social. One is about how you can use social to reach out to people from a classic selling prospecting perspective. How can I, in the US, you seem to have all these people that have got to make 100 calls and send 100 emails. Because of GDPR, I get very few emails now. Email marketing is pretty much dead. And I'm going to come back to that. What we're finding is that, so there's two things. One is about how you can actually reach out to people on social from a classic prospecting point of view and actually get people to go, actually, you are the solution to my problem, rather than you're a spammer, don't come near me anymore. And that's one of the things that people are actually having difficulty grappling with. From a senior management perspective, what we're seeing is a lot of people that don't understand social. So you get a lot of we need to be in social. So what we'll do is we'll get Tim Hughes, we'll talk to the sales team at the kickoff, we'll talk for an hour, and then we're social selling. It doesn't work like that. Social selling is a change in the way that you work. And certainly just by putting 150 PowerPoints and someone coming in for a training for a day doesn't change anything. If you look at most people's LinkedIn profiles, they've been on LinkedIn for 10 years and they still haven't changed their profile. Yeah. Why going on a course and paying someone to come in and talk for a day, is that going to make any difference? They're not. The other thing is, going back to the prospecting, is the fact that there's also this prospecting in terms of long-term prospecting. So when I was in my days of cold calling, I would call it plate spinning. There was kind of the people that I was dealing with today, and there's the people that I want to deal with in 3 months or 6 months. And what you're able to do is you're able to use content as a way of constantly waving to them over social and getting them to engage. Yeah. And in fact, you can accelerate your pipeline by doing that. So what we're certainly finding is that, we've got a reseller in North America. They've got a company that makes all-terrain vehicles. Just by social selling, on the first social selling course that they did with our reseller, they sold two $300,000 vehicles. They've actually got a proposal that they've been asked to submit for a company which is a competitor to Tesla, purely from a piece of content that was posted on LinkedIn. So there's some things wrong about social selling, but people are getting a great result from social selling, and that's partly because we're all there. That's where your customers are.